Hello everyone, my name is FIREBASE and welcome to another video, and today we will be doing my FIREBASE Z review, what I think of the map, what I think they should change, and what I thought they did well. But before we get into that, make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more Call of Duty content, just in general. I'm going to be putting out a lot more videos soon. I just had to get some ideas and stuff like that. Also, keep in mind this is my own opinion, so if you disagree with some of the stuff, that's completely fine. I can respect that. And also, we are at a third of 1,000 subscribers, and yeah, so please subscribe to help us get to 1,000 subs. That is my goal by the end of the month. Now, I know FIREBASE Z has been out for a bit. I've just had to put this review together and just play it a bit, because I haven't had time to play it recently, and I wanted to get a decent amount of matches in, or not matches, games in, before I did a complete review of this map. And I will have to admit, I'm just going to say up front, I really like this map. I think they did a lot well. There's a little bit I would change, but we'll get into that later. Also, I'm going to be dividing this video up into a general idea of the map. So there's going to be relatively 3 parts. There's going to be my beginning thing, what I think they did well, what I really like about the map, and my initial impressions. 2, what I think they should change, and just maybe add and stuff like that. And 3, the conclusion, just putting all of those thoughts together for one final statement, I guess. So, what I think they did really well. I love this map, honestly. This is one of my favorite maps. I'm just going to say it up front. I really like what they did with it. I really like this setting. Vietnam is just such a cool place. There's a lot to do with it. I think the characters are very cool. The side quests and stuff like that are also really neat. The wonder weapon on this map is amazing. It's like a ray gun with an AK-47. So does any more really need to be said about why that gun is amazing? There's just a lot of stuff they did right. Again, with the vibe of the map, I really like the jungle foresty type environment because obviously, you know, it's just cool, I guess. Another thing I really like are the assaults. I honestly really think they're a neat inclusion because I believe it's every 10 rounds an assault wave comes in and you have to protect one of the generators, I believe. And so they spawn in. There's 3 teleporters and they can spawn in from different sides at different times. And I think it's really neat because it gives you something to work towards if you're playing, say, Endless, and, you know, it's just not the mundane, like, just constantly training zombies around the same area. You have to do that. I really like it because you can also prepare. You can rack up a ton of points with that as well. If you throw down some C4 or you get a napalm strike or something like that, you can just get a ton of points, and it's a huge money maker, especially because it's every 10 rounds. So it's not like to the point where you have to conserve ammo for it, but it's enough of the fact that it makes a difference in your overall points for the game. Another thing, I haven't really tested it that much. I don't know what to think of it, but Tombstone, it's kind of who's who combined with Tombstone depending on what you have. I don't really know what to think of it. It's not really my top perks. I like how they brought it back and made it different from what it was. The biggest thing holding it back is that I could easily just buy a different perk. And at some point, when I already have all the other perks, then I probably won't buy it, because at some point it's just a waste of money, because, well, as much as it's a neat thing where you can just get your tombstone and get everything back that you had, that revolves around you dying, and that just is no fun. So it's the same thing that held it back in Black Ops 2 is holding it back now. The whole thing of reviving yourself is a pretty neat idea. Who's Who is a terrible perk, but it was a neat concept. Mixing the two together, it's a subpar perk. It's not anything that is super special, that stands out, but you can definitely get it and it can help you. Plus, the good thing about adding Tombstone to this shows that they will probably be adding a new perk every single map. I know that's what people thought in Black Ops 3. They added Widow's Wine and, why can't I think of it? Shadows of Evil, that's what it is. I don't know why I blanked on it for a second. They added it in Shadows of Evil, and everyone thought, well, they're going to keep adding perks. They didn't, but it looks like in this, we've had 2 new perks, which are obviously Elemental Pop, and then, not really technically new, but it's definitely newer from the version it was, is Tombstone. I'm gonna keep talking about why this map is great as well. The overall map design is very well. It's good. It's nothing super special. I mean, D Machine was a very good map layout, but it wasn't anything special. Essentially, there's just the starting zone, which the middle spot is the only viable spot for training. That starting spot is kind of just to get stuff done in terms of story and also pack-a-punching. And also the, I don't know what to call it, but I guess the soda machine is also there. That is also there. But other than that, there's also quick arrive when you first spawn in. It's already turned on, so I guess that's helpful. But other than that, there's nothing there. So as soon as you get to the teleporter, you are just probably going to be only staying at the FIREBASE. That's mixed for me. I do think they should have included more on the spawn point. But then again, it's only really used for a couple purposes. So I think everything should be at the FIREBASE like it is, but they should have added more at the spawn area. Another really good thing I like, again going back to map design, is the generator concept where you have to turn on 3 generators. I know it's somewhat similar to what it was in Origins, but unlike in Origins, the zombies can't attack the generators once they're turned on. So I really like the way they're doing Cold War, where it's basic yet somewhat complex, because obviously it's not like Keener to Toten where you just kind of walk through and turn on one thing of power and the entire map is set up. But it's not like Origins, going back to that, where you have to do a ton of tedious steps in order to get stuff done, and also have to worry about a ton of generators, and also generators shutting down. So that's really cool. That's all the good stuff. I shouldn't say that's only the good stuff, because this map is really good in my opinion, but we can get on to what they should have changed, or what they can fix. And the biggest thing for me are the mimics. I really think there's too much of them, because it's not really so much about getting tricked, where it's like, oh, I thought this was a drop, but it ended up being a mimic, because some of them are so plainly obvious. Like, you'll have like chopper gunners on the ground, and it's just like, wow, that's definitely a mimic, so I just have to get it over with and walk by it and then run away. I feel like they spawn too often, and they're just, if they were easier to take down, they wouldn't be as big of a deal, but they're decently challenging to take down if you just have base weapons. I'm sure if you have the Ray K, or if you have any other super special weapons, then they're completely fine to take down. But when you have base weapons, they're not super easy, especially the weapons you spawn in with. They take a ton of bullets, and so I think they should change that. Other than that, I really don't have any big things against this map. Another thing I think they should change, it's just kind of a weird one, but I think one thing they definitely should have changed is the area where you get picked up by the helicopter, the extraction point, because it's just super condensed. And the thing I liked about the area in D Machine was the fact that it was a big open area and you could see how much zombies were left. With this, it's decently condensed and there's a ton of small spots. I mean, one of the times I was playing, it took us 10 seconds to get the last zombie because he just kept constantly running up and down points. And we were legitimately chasing him, even though they're supposed to be chasing after us. We ended up chasing after him. So in conclusion, I think it's a really good map. There's a couple stuff they should have changed, but the pros far outweigh the cons. And with that, we will conclude the video. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment anything down below, such as what you thought of this video or future video ideas. And as always, I will see you all next time.